Good Wednesday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. You have made it to the middle of the week. Congratulations. What are your plans today? Are you expecting to be outside for long periods of time? Maybe if you had plans by the lake or by the pool, you might want to pay attention to the forecast today because it's going to be changeable, much like it was yesterday. We're going to look at that in review, but take a look behind me. And yeah, we have a little bit of fog in some spots. A little 1 mile visibility in Wartburg jumps off the page, as does Madisonville, Tellico Plains, and parts of the Smokies. In fact, you can see that visibility may be reduced in some spots. 7 miles visibility is being reported at McGee-Tyson Airport. May not be that bad. 3 miles in Jacksboro, so there is maybe some patches of fog to contend with, but temperatures are awfully mild. I mean, when you've got temperatures around 67 at McGee-Tyson, 70 in Oak Ridge, it feels pretty sticky, and those temperatures are only going to be climbing into the low to mid 80s today, but it will feel a lot hotter given the high humidity that we're going to continue to work through the course of your Wednesday. By the way, let's take a look at the radar because we had some flooding, a flood advisory till 2 a.m., which we'll review here in a moment, but want to show you what that looks like on the Ultimate Doppler radar presented by Marco's Pizza, your local Marco's Pizza. But here's what we're seeing. We've got a couple of showers near Decatur, south of Spring City at the particular moment. This is 6:41 in the morning. Maybe a hint of green there, southern Campbell County, maybe south of Monticello, there in Wayne County, Kentucky. But really not a whole lot to write home about at this time. So if you're headed to work in the next few minutes, you should be A-OK. But let's rewind the tape. Let's go back about 12 hours. 12 hours, we had another round of heavy rain coming into the evening hours. Right through 9 o'clock, came down in buckets. Boy, so you didn't say it was going to be this bad. Well, when it rains, it pours. When you have this kind of humidity, it's like having a car wash sponge just wring out, and it doesn't take much. So if you think you're just going to get a little sprinkle, nope, not in this pattern. Not in this pattern. Not until we reach tomorrow afternoon will we see a drop in the humidity. We'll talk about that coming up. But this just reviews what we have seen in terms of the downpours in Knoxville. This was like a secondary wave because we had some come in yesterday. By the way, as I keep this loop going on here behind me, let me grab some. Oh, cheers, by the way. I have my little water. Got my Captain Accurate mug. I gave my other one away, so I had to get a new one. So yeah, the water's good. I just wanted to let you know we had a rainfall total of 1.91 inches of rain, just shy of 2 inches. The daily rainfall record yesterday that dates back to 1920 was 2.30. So we fell short of that, a little shy of that, but it was 1.91 officially. We hit 86 degrees as expected. That occurred around 1:30 in the afternoon. We are now at 2.59 inches of rain for the month. That's over 2.07 inches above normal for the month of June. And this is coming off the heels of the fourth wettest May. So we're going to have to do some checking about where are we in June, because June looks pretty soggy the way things are shaping up, at least to start. Normal high, 84.63. That's normal high, normal low. This for this date. We did hit 96 on this date in 2011 and 1985, but the record low still 46 from 1946. If you're on the call, I want to say good morning to you. Fred says good morning. It's humid. Maryville's got 69 degrees. Fred, thank you for that update. And if you're on YouTube, I'll do my best to shout you out. Steve Stone, good morning to you, sir. He's got his happy face. Steve Stone's on YouTube. Just wanted to say a shout out to Steve and thank you for being here. Again, we have had some very interesting weather. Those little green boxes, as you can see, were flood advisories that lasted in Granger County till 4:45 in the morning. It lasted till 2 in the morning here in Knox County. By the way, the Ultimate Doppler radar presented by your local Marco's Pizza, now under new ownership, new leadership, better than ever. I will tell you this, Hardin Valley, Farragut, locations that might be near you. How about Maryville, Fountain City? They've got locations in Halls, Oak Ridge. They have a location on Middlebrook Pike and Ebenezer Road. They're also corporate sponsors of No Kid Hungry. They are also very active in giving money back to the community. They give back quite a bit to the community. If you're interested in a large pepperoni pizza, they call it the Pepperoni Magnifico. It's less than $10. And for lunch, you might consider a new Pozzoli. Pepperoni and sausage is my favorite, but you might prefer the buffalo chicken or maybe the chicken bacon ranch. Here's another look at the rain. Now, again, it's not raining now, but it's going to fill in later this morning. And you can see it beginning to develop just north of Soddy Daisy. We also have some activity west of Nashville. So this line of showers and storms will be developing, much like yesterday, where it's just like, where did that come from? Well, with the heating of the day and the high humidity, it's going to come from all sorts of places, mainly from the south and west. Meanwhile, we have wind advisories in Brown. I believe they're in northern Iowa. Oh, yes, Winnebago County. Southern Minnesota till 7 o'clock. They've got some high winds moving across this area. Now, I would imagine it's because they're going to be getting colder up here. More on that in just a moment. But further south, you can see they have more concerns for heat. South Texas under heat advisories in Starr County, Texas. But it looks like even parts of Arizona. When Arizona's complaining about the heat, they've got all that into California, too. Excessive heat warnings. Oh, man, San Bernardino, California. Talking about excessive heat. That's a lot of heat. They're building that out to the south and west. Future rainfall, probably academic. I mean, in a perfect world, maybe we get a quarter to half inch. But we still have the potential for a car wash sponge type of dousing. Where it rains, it pours. When it rains, it can pour today, and I suspect we could easily pick up a half inch to an inch where the rain showers take up residence. So if you're looking at your radar, you're looking at the Captain Accurate Weather app, I could say you're only going to get a third or maybe a quarter inch, but that's just, again, mere child's play compared to what the weather nature's capable of when it's this sticky and this humid, and that humidity will not drop until tomorrow. Here's another look at the clouds and the radar, just checking in to say hi to you. Good morning. It is Wednesday. It is the 5th of June. Boy, the summer, we're in the 5th day of hurricane season. It's still quiet. There's nothing to see. Not yet. But about 178 days left. There's still a lot to play out. Steve Stone says good morning on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, I got Wanda Poe. She says the tropics are quiet. Yes, they are. There's not much to see here at this time. But our peak season usually is August and September, still months away. But we could see any development, or see some development later on this month and into July. It's on the table. Tracking the clouds, we can see quite a few of those this morning. Clouds, fog, some hazy sun. It's all on the menu today. And with those clouds in place, eventually it may start to rain where you are. Visibility, I mentioned, has been dropped down to a mile in Madisonville. Tellico Plains, it's now 647. We got 1 mile visibility in Wartburg. Oak Ridge is 7. And we got 3 miles of visibility in Jacksboro in the heart of Campbell County. And speaking of Campbell County, Jacksboro is reporting 68. It is 70 in Oak Ridge and 66 Maryville, Alcoa. Our friends in Morristown have a temperature of 65. So it is awfully warm, but it's that humidity that you feel. Anytime it's in the 60s, it's considered a bad hair day. When you're in the mid to upper 60s, dare I say pushing 70, which we did yesterday for a little while, it can feel very swampy. Feels like the jungle. Feels like a tropical air mass, and that's overhead pretty much all day today and into the afternoon. In fact, if you need more evidence of that, look no further than the green ooze that's oozing over the state of Tennessee. That's 12 noon today. That's 5 o'clock tomorrow. 5 o'clock today. By 5 o'clock tomorrow, things will look vastly different. In fact, I think the inflection point is still around 2 p.m. If I'm not mistaken, 2 p.m. tomorrow will be when things start to turn for the better if you like less humid air. Because there's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Not much has changed, but it has dropped off in St. Louis and Louisville. But once we move into midday, there's 12 noon. It's still humid. So what you're saying is 2 hours from noon, it's going to get better. Yes. Need evidence? Watch this. 2 hours, boom, it's gone. Wait a minute. That must be when the front's coming. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Front's coming through around 2 o'clock tomorrow. So we will say goodbye to the showers, should say goodbye to the storms. By 2 o'clock, it should be mainly in the Smokies and moving out of the area. So we will feel much better by certainly 2 o'clock. If not 5 o'clock, it's pretty much vacated the premises. Not much to see in terms of humidity by 5 o'clock tomorrow as it moves out. And Friday is delightful. Delightful. Might want to spend some time having lunch outside. You'll say it feels good outside. Way better than it did on Wednesday and Thursday. No argument about that. But 5 o'clock on Friday, we'll be struggling to hit 80 degrees. And it will stay cool heading into the weekend, which we'll talk about here in mere moments. It is 6:49. Just checking in. I see a note from Fred and Wanda. Good morning to you. We got light winds at the moment. 8 miles an hour in Oneida, 3 in Wartburg and Knoxville. Temperature right now 74 in Chattanooga. It's currently 74 in Nashville and 70 in Memphis. You'll notice temperatures all over the map are vary, but generally in the 70s for much of the state. Sunrise was this 6:20 this morning. It will be going down now at 8:50, and don't be surprised if there's an occasional shower or even a downpour. As you head out the door here on June the 5th, my goal was to be done here in 11 minutes or less at the top of the hour. By 10 a.m., should be around 72. By 2 o'clock, yeah, there's more rain showers. In fact, it could occur later this morning, where skies just get awfully angry. I'm not expecting severe weather. Much like yesterday, nothing was declared severe. Winds were maybe gusting up to 35, 40, 45, the estimation from the Weather Service, but they did not feel the need to issue a severe thunderstorm warning because we didn't have gusts anywhere near 60. And that's their threshold. Your threshold might be a little bit lower. And when it comes down to buckets and you can't stay dry, you need like a golf size umbrella. Is that right? You know, one of those super large umbrellas just to stay dry in that type of environment. 86 is my expectation for a high today in Newport and Athens. Looking for a high of Oak Ridge, 83 today. Morristown, Hamlin County, and also White Pine. Russellville, about 84. 80 for Crossville in the heart of Cumberland County, and 83 degrees around, say, Oak Ridge. Hardin Valley, about 84. About 84 for Carnes today, 86 for Athens. As Wanda noted, yeah, there's nothing going on in the hurricane category here. The 7-day outlook from the National Hurricane Center has no areas of interest, but this is the area I've zoomed in on that we'll be watching closely this summer, where things could get very active coming up from perhaps the Caribbean. Headlines: showers and storms today. They'll be developing. Storms may last up until about 2 o'clock, estimated for Thursday. So it's mainly morning, but could carry into the lunch hour. But less humid on Friday. Friday will feel great. In fact, Thursday, late afternoon, we indicated we'll see a drop in that humidity. Right now, we have a 3-mile-an-hour wind out of the northeast. Relative humidity fully saturated, so our temperature, 67, matches our dew point temperature of 67, which gives us that 100% ratio. It's very sticky and maybe foggy where you are. Here's the Valley Planner as I check back some of the comments from you. Temperatures in the upper 70s at 1, should be around 83 by 3. And again, if you don't get a downpour, you should easily make it into the lower to mid-80s this afternoon. I want to say good morning to you again. It is Wednesday, 6:51, by the way. Danny says, good morning, David. Hope you have a great day. Go Vols, absolutely. Go Big Orange. One of those days where you just have to pack the umbrella and make sure it's close by because you never know. You may never know when things start to change in a dramatic way in that regard. So just make sure that you're aware of that. Let me go back and take a look at our temperatures. Again, we are at 85 is what I expect to be this afternoon. But many of us, if we get downpours, may stop into the lower 80s. That's the way things are shaping up there. Precipitation chances, 80% today, 30% chance on Thursday. Then there's another round of unsettled weather going into early next week for Sunday and Monday. Speaking of which, how often do you see a pattern like this in the month of June? You mean there's some cool air? Yes, we talked about less humid air. But certainly there should be a chance that we could get to 90 soon, right? No. No, in fact, it looks like the pattern, as my premium members know all too well, looks like it's going to be like this for a while. Because when you see that blue and green color at 5,000 feet through the 7th of June, that's Friday, it may be struggling to get out of the 70s, if not near the low 80s. It's just not going to be that warm. Humidity will be low, but it's going to stay that way at times. You can see there's Saturday, June the 8th. You can see Saturday, 8:45. And then it just kind of locks and reloads heading into the 9th, the 10th. This is not a pattern that you would see typically in the month of June, but there's a cool patch of air covering over the Great Lakes from Buffalo to Montreal, New York, and D.C. right through Monday of next week, and there will be reinforcements thereafter. So it's one of those situations where June will be highly changeable. Storm Prediction Center is highlighting some areas. Not often do I see 5. Did you say 5? 5 areas in dark green. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. That's 5 spots. That means 5 spots around the country may have some isolated severe storms today. Let's start off with the one to the south. We're talking Houston, we're talking San Antonio and Baton Rouge, may have, even Austin, may have some isolated severe storms. But that's not the only spot. The Storm Prediction Center also is watching Minneapolis, St. Paul, St. Cloud, and Duluth for some isolated severe storms, maybe even Fargo, North Dakota, right on the edge there between Minnesota and North Dakota. Then there's the concern of some isolated severe storms today in Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati. You'll notice we're not listed in these areas. We're not pictured here. D.C., Baltimore, also another spot. That would be number 4. And then the 5th one, way up here in LL Bean territory. I think Fred knows this area well. Fred, I think, spent some time in Maine, but Lewiston, Portland, Bangor, also getting some isolated severe storms potentially today. And you can see not a whole lot here other than general thunderstorms and gully washers. We have the potential for some downpours with the high humidity, but not necessarily reaching severe limits. The picture tomorrow changes. There's only one patch of dark green. That would be in parts of East Florida, from Palm Bay down toward Miami and Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie. But then we look back toward Tennessee, and again, pushing this rain to the east. Eventually, there will be some general thunderstorms, likely on Thursday, but probably up until about 2 p.m., mostly in the morning, and then exiting stage right. Last spot for tomorrow, Friday. If there's any hot spots on Friday, should be maybe in western Kansas, parts of southwestern sections of Nebraska and eastern Colorado for some isolated severe storms. But Friday, as I mentioned, will be gorgeous here with maybe a few high clouds from time to time. Futurecast shows this rain getting its act together, maybe not at 8 o'clock, but certainly before midday, because that is a representation of lunchtime. And lunchtime may be pretty soggy. We might have rain on the menu, and that certainly is in the offering. Might see a break before 5 o'clock before we get more activity heading into the evening hours. There's 11 o'clock on Wednesday. Got some other notes from Wanda. She says, let the cool air come on down when winter comes. Hope I get a lot of snow my way. She's a fan of winter, even though it's June. You know you're a Team Snow diehard fan when you're rooting for snow in June. I love it. Thank you, Wanda. Marilyn Bell, you're sending me some stars. You're very kind. Thank you for your support always. She's one of my premium members. Steve Stone saying good morning to you. A lot to work through here. With the rain that's still coming through, we've got a very active night tonight. May not be every hour of the night. Much like last night, boy, when it came down, it meant business. But that front's going to continue on like so. That there's 7 a.m., looks like perhaps by midday, most of it on this model is pushing it toward the Smokies. And eventually we get the rain-free atmosphere heading into Thursday night, into Friday. Friday's going to be much more comfortable, as we mentioned, and we'll feel a lot better heading into the weekend. By the way, as we slide this high-pressure dome, it slides over Mississippi and Alabama. There should be some rain by Saturday morning back toward Memphis. I think it's going to stop short of us until Sunday, so a lot of that is going to be predicated on the movement of that warm front. That's another thing we'll be tracking, and I'll have another update for the weekend coming up later this afternoon. So let's take a closer view. It's a different model, a different solution, but it gives you an idea how much variability can be in these models. They don't handle these little pulse thunderstorms all that well, but this puts a little downpour around Crossville by 9:30 a.m. Eastern. It shows up around Wartburg by 9:30 Eastern, and then you can see Jamestown also getting some rain at that time. If this is what noon looks like, can you agree that it's probably going to be buckets? It's not like drizzle. I mean, where you see red, thunder, where you see yellow, some moderate rain, and there will be that potential. There should be that potential and expectation today. There's 2 o'clock, and then maybe a break before the drive home. 4 to 5 looks better, way better than lunchtime. But then once we head into tonight, there could be another round that comes in with the approaching front. That may not happen as quickly or as slowly as this model would suggest, but there will be some more opportunities for rain, as this suggests, with the passing front by tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on the rain situation tomorrow, but temperatures tomorrow should also be in the lower to mid 80s for your Thursday. Friday, again, temperatures pushing 80. So here are our forecasts. Here is my forecast for today. Clouds, fog, hazy sun. It's humid and showers and storms, about an 80% chance. I think most of us have a good chance, a very good chance of getting wet today. 84 for Morristown. Newport, where Wanda is, 86. Looking for a high in Sevierville of only 81. And if you're in Crossville, about 80 degrees, 82 for Wartburg in the heart of Morgan County. Today, if you're traveling north, Lexington 82. If you're heading south, Atlanta 85. Should hit about 90 in Augusta. I'm pretty sure they hit 92 yesterday in Augusta, Georgia. But 82 for a high in Memphis and Jackson, Tennessee. So for tonight, it's still sticky. Partly to mostly cloudy, because there may be some breaks in the clouds. Showers and storms were down to only 67. That feels more like the swamp. That feels pretty oppressive for this time of year. 65 for a low in Newport, 64 for Wartburg, 64 for Athens, and a low in Oneida of 65 degrees. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast, finishing right up on time. It's 6:59 here in the morning. Again, low to mid 80s today. Low to mid 80s tomorrow. Again, depends and predicates on whether or not we get the showers and storms. I do think we'll find a better chance for today and tonight, and then a lesser chance as we head into the early afternoon, because that will be shifting to the east. 80 for Friday. High clouds on Saturday, but the best morning, if you're up early, will be the 56-degree start on Saturday. And then afternoons, Monday and Tuesday, we may struggle to get out of the mid to upper 70s. Now, that's unusual, especially since 84 is the normal high. So you would be looking at about 7 degrees below average for Monday and Tuesday. In fact, by then, it might be closer to 85. So it could be closer to 7, 8 degrees below normal. But that seemingly is the trend. I think that's why there was a wind advisory for the Dakotas, because they're going to be ushering in that chillier air from the northern plain states. And eventually, it'll be working its way down here. So it's going to feel unusually cool for the month of June. If you're headed to the beaches, you might escape some of that coolness, but maybe all things considered, it may not bother you much at all. If you're on the call, I just want to say thank you for your time this morning. It's 7 o'clock straight up. If you haven't downloaded the Captain Accurate Weather app with Pete Michaels Traffic, I can't emphasize enough how awesome it is to have Pete Michaels Traffic on the app, because you get weather and traffic together. It's engineered by our friends at Barron Weather. They are the radar experts, in my view. All of the National Weather Service alerts are equipped on this app. You get 3 extras from Barron. You get the lightning alerts, which are very, very key, especially if you are a mom or a dad, a grandma, grandpa, papa, mama, and you're watching the grandkids, maybe at the pool, the neighborhood pool, or the beach or the lake this summer. You get notifications when lightning is occurring within 15 miles of your location. So for the price of free, you could ask for a better app, and you also get some extra things to keep you alert of what's going on. If you want to know more of what's going on, I would encourage you to try or sample the Captain Accurate Premium service. Just hit the subscribe button. We focus on weather that's beyond the next 7 days. We've been talking about the 4th of July for the last couple of days. So if you're curious about what's going to happen a month from now, you might say, hey, that's kind of something I'd like to know. I like to be in the know. Some of us are spontaneous. We could care less. We'll just look out the window. What do I need a weather person for? I'll just look out the window. I've heard that too. That's okay. That may be your style. But if you would like to know a little bit more beyond the 7-day forecast, check us out. You're the first to see every forecast that I put out. You get more Facebook Lives, typically on a Sunday, to plan for the week ahead. You get fewer ads. It's only $4.99 a month. That's 16 cents a day. I average about 15 to 20 posts a day, which really works out to, what, less than a penny a post? And you get a lot more intel. If you're interested in weather, check us out. You can cancel at any time. Well, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.